In this video, we're going to be looking at inequalities on a number line, part 2. If you haven't seen part 1, make sure you go and watch that video by pressing the pop-up banner in the top right corner of your screen, and make sure you come back. Okay, let's have a look at this one rule. Here we can see a number line with circles and a line joining it together. I would just like to explain what this line in the middle represents. In our previous video, we had a look and we said that when the circle is shaded, it is including that number, and when it is not, it doesn't. So let's see what this line represents. The numbers include -3, -2, -1, 0, and 1. -3 is included because it's shaded, and 2 is not included because it's not shaded. It can't be any of these numbers here, as it's not included in the line. Let's have a look at an example. The question is asking us to represent -5 is less than or equal to x, which is less than 4. Let's split this into two parts. We'll focus on the first part. We know we have a -5 here. That means -5 has to be in our answer. We'll draw a circle around -5. It is saying that -5 is less than or equal to, we have to shade in, x. X is going to be greater or equal to this number, so we know it's going to be moving in this direction. Let's have a look at the second part. We can see the number 4. We'll draw a circle out 4. It doesn't have the equal to line, so it doesn't get shaded. X is going to be smaller than 4, so therefore we know it's going to be moving in this direction. Since we've got the directions pointing at each other, we join the lines together. This is what we would draw. Okay, I would like you to try and represent this. You'll have 1 minute. Time's up. Let's see how we can do this question. It is saying for us to represent -2 is greater than or equal to x, or x is greater than 4. We'll start off with the first one. We'll draw a circle at -2. Since it has the equal to line, we're going to shade it in. And we can see that x is going to be less, so therefore we'll be moving in this direction. Now when we look at this, we have the number 4, so we'll draw a circle at number 4, and x is going to be greater, so we know it's going to be moving in this direction. We can tell that they're moving in opposite directions, therefore we do not draw a line between those two circles. This is what your answer should look like. Okay, now this question is asking us to write the inequality for this line. We can see that we have a fully shaded circle at -3, and we don't have a shaded circle at 2. We'll split this up into two parts, part 1, part 2. Let's focus on the -3. We can see the line is going this way, therefore we know the number must be increasing. So this means that -3 is less than x. x is being represented by -3, -2, -1, 0 and 1. Let's move on to the second part. Here we can see it's not shaded and the line is moving in this direction. So therefore we know that x has to be less than 2. Okay, so now we have these two inequalities. We have to join them into one. We'll make x the subject. We know that x is going to be greater than -3. Don't forget it's shaded, so we have to put the equal to line. And we know that x is going to be smaller than 2. This is our final inequality for this line. I would like you to try the same question, but for these lines. You have 1 minute. Time's up. Let's have a look at the answer for this question. Here we can see that 2, the circle is under 2 and it's not shaded. So we know that 2 has to be involved. We can see the direction is moving this way, therefore x has to be less. So -2 is greater than x. Let's move on to the second part. Here we can see the circle is not shaded and is under 0 and it's moving in this direction. This means that x is going to be greater than 0. So 0 is less than x. So now we have to combine these two inequalities, giving us the final answer of x is less than -2 or x is greater than 0. Okay, hopefully you are confident in inequalities on a number line. If this video helped you out, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe.